Yeah, I'm taking what's called a walk and talk today. I've noticed a lot of YouTubers, at least the ones that I follow, do this sort of thing. So I thought I would come out onto the property and then talk about some of the things that maybe I need to go into more detail about what's happening with Catherine and I. When I first went to the Philippines and met my wife, and then we had gotten married, when I came home, I noticed that there was a guy on the plane who's, an American like me. We're about the same age and everything, and we started talking. And he had gotten married to a woman over there. And he said it took him about a year from the time he started filing his paperwork until she finally got here. And I had originally bought land over there. And I was thinking about, retiring over there, but what happened was that was when the lockdowns and everything had begun to happen. So I just decided, with the way everything was over there, they were very strict, kept them in place longer than anybody else, that I would instead have my wife come here to the U.S. Well, it was a couple of years before I could even go back to the Philippines because of all that was going on. So I started filing the paperwork, but it took some time to get the paperwork complete. On my financials, there was something that I had to work out as well. They want so much information, you have to make sure that you have it all. So it took a while, actually, between not being able to go over and visit, the fact that just everything that was happening at that time, it took off about 2 years anyway. So then they're working out the whole financial thing to make sure that, because your financials have to look a certain way before everything can come across. So you have to have a lot of information. Anyway, I got all that stuff together, but that took like another year. So that was already like 3 years. And then the process was taking longer because of the backlog, everything that had happened. It slowed everything down. Now it was taking longer, so there's no way it was going to be a year, and sure enough, it wasn't. In fact, afterwards, by the time she gets here, it'll be almost 2 more years on top of that. So we thought we were home free, we passed everything, got all the stuff that we needed, and yet the process was slow. So we finally got to the point where it looked like, our paperwork's all clear, now I can just do the last part here, and she can do her interview at the embassy, everything's good. So I actually set up the flight to go over there. And I had bought her a ticket too, because she had already taken a physical and it looked like everything was fine. So I thought, we should be good to go. I can come back with her and everything's good. But then she had to take her physical, and I didn't know anything about this sputum test that they have, where if they find anything in your lungs, like just any kind of congestion or anything, now you got to do the sputum test, and that adds almost 2 months more to the whole process. And so she had, some congestion in her lungs or whatever. So she had to be subject to the sputum test, just like thousands of others. I would say a majority of people, from what we saw, have to go through the sputum test. And if I had known anything about that, I wouldn't have bought her ticket for coming home. In fact, I might have changed my date of even going there until she had passed all of that. But, it is what it is. You live and learn. So anyway, now I moved here, and even though, I have my retirement money and everything, you also need to have, to make sure that you're not just meeting the minimum requirements, but going over that by a bit so that, there are no hurdles, there are no questions about anything. So that's why when I come back here, I also moved to come down and kind of be a caretaker over the property here. and also start working, keep working, but going through a couple of temp agencies that I have to come down here to keep working, so I keep getting pay stubs so I can prove, yeah, I can support her, everything's good. So she'll be able to, you know, go through an interview without any more issues. So barring any more issues or problems, which I can't foresee anymore, but I've learned by now not to take anything for granted. Barring all of that, and if everything is clear sailing from here, she should be here by, you know, end of November, beginning of December, or something like that. But I just want to put this out as kind of a cautionary tale for anybody who's going overseas and trying to get somebody over here. There's generally some kind of hurdles or unexpected things that happen in the whole process. Probably a good idea to look at a lot of YouTube channels on it, which my wife does that, but I'm just kind of like looking on the surface and saying, oh, okay, well, I could do this, I could do that, and thinking everything's going to be fine. But of course, every time you're dealing with an agency, especially government agency, there's always things that come up which, you know, on the surface you may not see. So anyway, I just wanted to make a short video about this because I know that people question a lot of these things and what's going on and what's happening. You know, when will Catherine be here and stuff? Well, this is what has happened over the, you know, past like 4 years. So there's been a lot of challenges, but it looks like we're over all of that and she should be here soon, which will be really nice because, you know, if you go long periods of time, you're married, you don't see your wife for a long time, you got to keep working and doing things and hustling and getting things done. You know, life can be challenging. So I'm just glad that we're at a place in our life where once she gets here, you know, we're pretty much set. You know, so we should be doing all right. When she gets here, I want to have another video where we both can talk about the whole process and what we've gone through and stuff. You know, for helpfully a tool for helping others that are going through the same thing. So if you're in the Philippines and you're looking at coming here to the United States, you have an awareness of some of the issues that you might have. And if you're married to an American, some of the challenges that you might face along the way. I went through an agency to help me process everything, and I'm glad I did because there's so many things that they saw that if you were trying to do it yourself, you might not realize, you know, the quality of certain things that you have to send in. If it's not an original copy or it's not this or that, you know, it's going to create a problem. So it just seems like they saw a lot of because of this is the stuff they do all the time, that they saw a lot of the potential stumbling blocks and help you clear it. The agency I went through had, you know, called Rapid Visa, but they have something like a 99% success rate in getting people through. And I can believe that because, you know, they helped me with so many things along the way. So anyway, I want to thank you for joining me today on Adventures of Big A and Cathy. And even though she's not here now, you know, she will be in the next few weeks, so that'll be nice. And remember to like, share, and subscribe. And if you do know anybody they're trying to get somebody from a foreign country that they're married to, and you want to share this video, that would be great too. Thanks again.